Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about Black Friday sales. It feels like this time of year, basically all of November, every other notification and email I see is about another sale, about another deal, something to try and get us to spend money. And I've been very good about avoiding overspending, and I do know this is something that a lot of people struggle with, so I really wanted to sit down and just talk about what I do that might be helpful for you to avoid overspending and surviving this consumerist holiday. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup, and I really love sparkly indie eyeshadow and high-end and luxury makeup. So you see a lot of both of those on my channel, and I tend to be pretty analytical in the content I make. I try really hard to make thoughtful, analytical videos, and I have new content every week, so I'd really love to have you subscribe. So this should be a fairly straightforward video. I'm going to talk about what I've already bought / what I'm going to plan to buy and tips I have and what I do to try to avoid overspending. I know lots of other people do this on the regular. I try to talk about making sure you buy what's actually right for you and not just because it's new and pretty on my channel all the time, but I don't often make dedicated videos like this, but it felt like the right time of year to do that. I know my friend Hope Miss Tom will probably have some videos about this going up soon. It is a big part of their channel because they used to spend a lot more than they do now on makeup, and it's part of their channel. My friend Cam Clove Room is probably gonna have a video about this. I think it's good to see different perspectives on this because everyone has a different struggle or a different way of approaching holidays like Black Friday and things that are like really pushing you to spend extra money. So I have already purchased some stuff. As I film this, it is the week before Thanksgiving. There's already Black Friday sales starting. I'm sure there's some that are like already starting in the next day or two or already started. It doesn't really feel like Black Friday is a Friday. It's not a holiday, like it's not like a day. Before, I remember people like lining up for hours and all of that for Black Friday, and then eventually there's Cyber Monday and things were online. Now pretty much everything's online, so there's not really a distinction. And it's become such a thing that I feel like, one, the sales are getting longer, like some of them are weeks long. Also, they're just in general worse. I remember when Black Friday sales were like, you know, some of the things were like 80% off or something, and now like I feel like the average is like 25%, which is fine. It's great. It's money off, especially if it's something you already wanted, but like 25% off sales happen throughout the other parts of the year too. So it's not like something that really distinguishes it from any other sale. So I have already purchased some stuff that were like pre-Black Friday sales. I don't really know what to call them. I did an order from Victoria Beckham Beauty. I've ordered from them like a couple times a year for the last few years, but it started with a Black Friday sale a couple of years ago, and I bought more last year and I bought more since. And this felt like a good time to try some stuff that I wanted to, so I bought the priming moisturizer, the concealer, some of the really expensive products that I've been wanting to try that if I really love it, I will buy it full price later, but to get it the first time, I really want to get it on a deal to make sure I'm not wasting money if I really hate it. I am wearing that concealer today, and spoiler, I do really like it so far, but that was something that I knew I was going into Black Friday to buy, or the holiday season, I should say. So that's one of the things that I try to do is I try to plan ahead. And I know this video is not weeks ahead, so hopefully this is still helpful, but planning ahead I have found makes the biggest difference. The only non-planned thing that I've bought was, I did say to my friend Steven, if Lisa Eldridge does her first ever sale, or if one of her retailers does a good sale, I will probably buy some stuff from her, and I did. Not everything I wanted. I did buy 3 more of her brushes that I've wanted to try, and a lipstick and some other stuff through Space NK because they were having a sale. But I also got a bonus at work like the same day. Like my boss told me I was getting a bonus, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna spend a couple $100s on things that I've wanted from Lisa Eldridge. So that was like kind of like spoken in the universe. If there's a good sale, I might buy some stuff, and then like happened to get some extra money that I wasn't expecting. So that was a nice thing. And then the only other thing that I've purchased that is like a Black Friday kind of sale or pre-Black Friday sale was some candles from Boy Smells. I have them here. They've already come. They are their new holiday scents. I bought 2 of the 3. This is Broken Rosary and this is Incensorial. Really like these. I knew I would like them based on the smell or based on the notes. I have other Boy Smells things. I like them. And I think these were 25% off or something. I like a luxury candle. I like a nice candle. You can see there's like 4 there, there's 3 there, there's some on the shelves. That was not planned, but they sounded like something both my husband and I like. He wanted them, I wanted them. They were on sale. They weren't too expensive. I think I got them for like, I think I paid like 50 bucks or something for both of them, which not nothing, but like that's the one like random thing that I've bought. I think they're doing 30% now, so I probably could have saved more if I would have waited, but you know, whatever. That is a hazard of these sales, is I feel like some of them are doing like pre-Black Friday sales and they're doing 20%, like Victoria Beckham, and then I just got a text that tomorrow it's gonna be 25%. Like that kind of stuff happens, but in the long run, that 5% doesn't make the biggest difference. So the biggest thing that I try to do every year is I have a list of these are the brands that I want to look at. These are the things that I want from those brands. And I try to stick to that pretty religiously. I have a running wish list note on my phone. So I have the notes app that's on my phone and my computer. I have a running list on that. And I think it's good to add, this is just in general like a good shopping tip that I've found that helps me a lot, especially because even within this channel, I work within a set budget every month. Having a running list of things that I'm like, ooh, that's pretty, I think I want that. I do some research, figure out if it is the color and the formula and whatever that I do want. I add it to that wish list, and then I let them sit there a little bit, and then I either remove them or buy them or hopefully get them as a gift or something at a later point. A lot of stuff, most stuff gets removed because I realize this is really pretty. I would love to own this, but I can't own everything, so I don't need it. Every once in a while, I'll see something and I'm like, yes, I want that. It's within my budget. It will make a good video. Let's just buy it. So I'll do that. But most things get put on that and buy later, which is why I'm not always reviewing the newest stuff. I'm often just buying stuff that I want and I'm interested and hopefully can talk about on the channel. Sometimes it's something that I think will do well. Like I bought one of the Patrick Ta eyeshadows and some of the Lisa Eldridge lipsticks that came out last month because I thought they would do well and I wanted them and they were within my budget. So like it all worked out. But having that running wish list, I think, especially if you're not also trying to run a YouTube channel where you're doing some reviews and some not, I think for the average consumer is probably going to be the best thing because you don't really need it the minute it comes out, unless you think you're gonna make a video and monetize that and earn the money back that you spent. It doesn't really make sense to rush out and buy it day of. You can wait, see what people think, see if it actually is for you. So I think having like a running wish list is one of the biggest things that helped me overall. The other thing that I try really hard to do is to try to be very strategic and have a budget. So I knew I'd probably spend a little bit more than my normal monthly budget this month, but I had it set aside. Thankfully, I had some affiliate money come in, so it was like, well, that covers it. But if you don't, like having a set budget that you can only work within really helps because I know for me, let's say it's $150, let's say $200. I'm looking at buying something like, oh, I've wanted that, it's on sale, it's $50, that's great. And then I immediately deduct it from the budget. I have a running list and that leaves me with 150. So it's best to keep that tally and that like running total as you're going versus buying a bunch of things and then adding it up at the end and being like, shit, I just spent $1,000. Keeping a running list. I have a spreadsheet of all of my like affiliate money coming in, but then also just everything I've purchased this year makeup wise and how much it is, where I bought what I bought, and I just have a running spreadsheet. Part of that is because I have a channel and I'm earning money now, but part of that is also just to help me track things. I think the biggest pitfall that is easy to fall into is you see a good sale and you're like, oh, I've heard about that brand, I've wanted to try that brand, let me go look. And I think that's the biggest thing to avoid. Planning ahead what brands and what things you want to try to buy is the best, knowing I love Terra Moon singles, or I love Cleona singles, I know they're gonna have a good Black Friday sale, let me set aside, let me plan what shades I want. You know, they're gonna launch some new shades around the same time, so let me look at those from people who got it in PR. That's different, but like, I know Katie Jean Hughes just posted a video that was talking about I'm Colin. I've wanted to try them, I've wanted to try their blushes and their like blush sticks and their lip oil lip gloss. And she was saying they're having their Black Friday sale already. Everything's 25% off, I think. And then she was like, and affiliate code stack. She was like, I have an affiliate code. It's this, it adds 20%. So it adds another 20% off of that. And it was tempting. I went to their website. I added some stuff that I have wanted to my cart just to kind of see what the price would be. And it was like, cool, this blush stick that is normally 20 something, close to $30 is gonna be $12. That's great, but then I have to pay for shipping, and then I had to pause and be like, do I really need this? I just got Katie's blushes. And one of them, and the shade that I want is also pretty similar. So like, do I really need to buy another blush that looks very similar to one that I just got? No, I don't. And so I removed stuff from the cart because I didn't want them emailing me, hey, your cart's still there, which can be nice if you're looking for a discount. You add stuff to your cart, close the tab, and then you get an email saying, here's a discount code. I've done that before. But because I don't want them to do that, I removed the stuff from my cart, closed the tab, and moved on. And I think that's the biggest thing that I see some of my friends fall for or like struggle with is getting those emails saying like, we're seeing a post, hey, this brand's doing a sale, and then going, ooh, I've wanted to try them, or there's stuff from them I want, and then going to look, and then suddenly you've spent another $100 or something. So seeing those posts, like I understand some of my friends post a lot of links for sales and announcement for sales, and I think those can be helpful and hurtful. Like if you know you really want to buy some YSL stuff and they're probably going to do a sale, you watch to see when an influencer or when a page is going to post a list of here's all the sales, YSL's is starting, or you're on their mailing list, and then you go and buy it. Like I will probably buy some stuff from Haus Labs sale that starts Monday, because if it's part of the sale, that's also another thing. Some things aren't part of it, but I go through the Haus Labs lip oil pretty quickly. I'm on my like 5th tube. I need another one, mine's dead. And I want another shade in their other like lip gloss kind of formula. So like, that's a potential that I might spend in a couple days on those 2 items, but I already know like those, it's that shade and that shade. Like this is a replacement, this is a new shade, that's it. But it's really easy to get sucked up in the hype of people posting like, oh, this person's having a sale, and oh, this person's having a sale. And I think it's always good to take a step back and be like, was this already on my list? So having that running list, I think is the grounding part of all of this. Hi, Bean. Beans are very needy. We went out for drinks earlier with some friends who I haven't seen in a couple weeks, and I think she's feeling neglected. Okay, the other part, the last thing I really want to talk about is I want you to like think about if the sales are even worth it. I mentioned this earlier, but a lot of the sales that we're seeing are like 20-25% off, and you see those for Labor Day and Mother's Day and 4th of July. You see these sales popping up all the time. They're not as rare as they used to be. Like when the Sephora sale started, it was a big deal to get 20% off at Sephora if you were Rouge. Sales on cosmetics were less common. Black Friday sales were like the big sale once a year, not just for cosmetics, for anything. But we're seeing sales all the time. Like look at Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath is one of my favorite brands. I own a lot of stuff from them. I have a bunch of lipsticks. I have most of the motherships. It's one of my favorite foundations. Love the brand. They do sales all the time. And oftentimes, I think for their Black Friday sale this year, they're doing like 50% off the website, except for motherships is what I heard, which is the biggest thing. It's the most expensive product. And those are often included in her regular sales that seem to be going on every like month and a half. They're pretty common. And oftentimes her sales are tiered. So it's like if you spend $50, you get 20%. If you spend $75, you get 25%. And if you spend, over $100, you get 35% or something. The motherships are 130. So if that's what you've been really wanting, there you go. You've met the max, you can get that discount. And if there's a bundle, you can save even more. Like they're pretty common sales, and they're just not as good as they used to be. Like I said, I've seen other brands do tiered things. Like I think YSL's Black Friday this year is tiered. I keep seeing up to 40% on emails, which is really frustrating. Like Natasha Denona used to do at least 50% on a lot of things. Some things were more than that. A lot of her palettes were buy one, get one free. So there were bundles. So that's how I bought a bunch of her palettes in the past, is instead of paying $130 per, I paid $120 or something, and I got two. So they were like $60 a piece, or the $69 palettes were in a pair, and you got both of them for $60. She's not doing that. It's up to 40%. So a bunch of it is only 20%. And it's like, well, if you're Rouge, or if it's a lot of other brands like Ulta sells Natasha Denona, I don't know what Bean's doing. They're doing 20% sales all the time, at least twice a year. So is it really worth even including those in your consideration when you can get it at a different time? And the last thing that I want to say, the very last thing, is something I said earlier, and that is the mindset of you can't own everything. This is the thing that I've struggled the most. I own probably 150 eyeshadow palettes and quads right now, and I want to downsize that because I'm just not using them all. I'm not buying as much as I used to be. But go back 4 years ago, I was buying multiple things a month. I was buying all kinds of stuff. But I had to pull back, and there's things all the time that I see that I'm like, that's really pretty. Technically, it's within my budget. I want to try that formula. That's really pretty. It looks really fun. But learning to admire things from afar is the biggest change that I've had in like the way I view makeup and buying makeup over the last, 4 years since I really started. Because I started really buying makeup in 2020, and it's the end of 2024, which is crazy. But I see even collabs I see happen where it's like, I like that influencer, that's a pretty palette, that's really cool. Congrats for them, very happy for them. But I don't have to support them via buying it. I can support them by watching their videos. I can comment on their videos. I can give that engagement, which is really helpful. Not needing to own everything is hard. That is the hardest thing, because I want to try all the formulas. I want to compare everything. Comparing and contrasting formulas and textures is what really got me into makeup. But there's so much stuff coming out constantly. It's physically impossible to own it all, try it all, or it'd be worth it to do that. So learning like for yourself which things are, yes, that is worth it, I will buy that, and yes, that's really pretty and I would love to own it, but I don't need it. Takes some practice and takes some time, and there will always be mistakes, but I think that having the wish list that you're going through and using that to kind of discern what you'll buy and what you won't, and learning that it's okay if you don't buy it. You don't have to have it. I can think that is a beautiful eyeshadow palette and really want it and not own it. I think last year's big one that I really wanted was the Lancome Louvre palette. I almost bought that like 5 times, but didn't need it. It's really beautiful. I don't have to own it to appreciate its existence. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I hope you can survive the Black Friday and sale season without going overboard and sticking to your budgets and your plans. I should be myself. I hope this was helpful. I hope that any part of this was helpful. Let me know if this is something you struggle with or any of these tips that you might implement or things that might help you. I'd love to talk to you all in the comments. It is, again, part of why I have this channel. I like to talk to y'all in the comments. So let me know. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you've gone all the way to the end. Remember to like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference, and I will see you all in my next video.